let's go into recruiting, okay? And we're going to have a lot of fun with recruiting. And whenever you do a presentation, and this has not only to do with the product, it also has to do with recruiting. You never can pick and choose who's going to be the next star of your Herbalife business, okay? You can never judge that. And it's a little bit sad sometimes because it's very difficult as an individual that when we're looking at someone to not prejudge what and who they are going to become, okay? Sometimes we look at the person that's got a little bit more professional background, they're dressed a little bit more better, they've got a little bit more background in school and this sort of thing, and they seem a little sharper type person, and we think that's going to be the best person. They may be the best person, but they also may not be the best person, okay? You just never know, okay? Because the person who talks the most in Herbalife, okay, is the one who gets the biggest checks. And you don't know who that person's going to be. It could be the housewife, it could be the bartender, it could be someone who's scrubbing toilets for a living, it could be the janitor, it could be the person that does your dry cleaning, and it could be a dental hygienist, and it could be a dairy farmer, and it could be a doctor, and it could be a lawyer. You just never know. So what you got to do, okay, whenever you're going to do a presentation about the products or you're going to do it about the business, here's what you got to do. Don't prejudge anybody. Treat everybody nice. Treat everybody with respect. Treat everybody equal, no matter who and what they are, okay? No matter what their background is, no matter what their color of skin is, no matter where they come from, what language they speak, it doesn't make any difference, okay? Because we've proven to this point. It was different for me when I got started. Nobody was doing it when I was doing it. Today, everybody's doing it from every single country with every kind of background you can possibly think of. So what you've got to do when you're making your presentation is you've got to do the best presentation you've ever done in your entire life, okay? And then when you get to the next person, you do the best presentation you've ever done in your entire life. So whatever you got to do to get yourself mentally set up and mentally excited about doing your presentation, it needs to be the best, okay? And don't worry, for those of you that are in the back, you're doing your first presentations, don't worry, you'll get better, you'll get better, you'll get better. At a point, you can only get so good. Then all you've got to do is just keep your mental attitude up all the time and make certain that it's the best every single time, because when you meet someone, you just never know who that person's going to be. It could be the next world team, get team, millionaire, or president's team member in your group, okay? So I treat everybody the same, okay, no matter who they are. When we sit down to make their order, okay, and we've recruited them into the company, if they buy 2 bottles, I treat them like they're going to become the next president's team. If they buy $400 worth, I treat them exactly the same. If they buy $4,000 worth, I buy them exactly the same. Because just because they buy more, money's not going to get them to the top position in the company, okay? Working and getting customers and getting more distributors, going wide and going deep with a solid foundation of selling the product, okay, is what's going to get them to the president's team and to have a solid check and a solid future with you, okay? So I treat everybody just like they're going to go up to the top. And also when you're recruiting, here's the kind of attitude that you want to have, okay? Because a lot of times when people are getting into the recruiting phase from being on the products, they're a lot stronger on getting people on the products than they are the money. The reason for that is you've lost weight a lot quicker than you've made $1 million. So you don't approach people necessarily with that, it's going to happen to you, you're going to get rich, everything's going to happen, it's going to be incredible, and you don't come across as strong with the business as you do the products. Trust me, it's just as easy to get people in the business as it is people on the products. There's millions of people looking for this kind of opportunity to make an extra $2,000 or $3,000, whether it's to take care of their children, put them in a better school, feed them better, or maybe have a decent vacation, or to go on to the top and make $100,000 a year or upwards to $1 million a year like we have some of the president's team making, okay? But when you're approaching people, okay, don't beg the people into the company, okay? Sometimes I see people, you know, they're there and they're talking to someone for 3, 4, 5 hours, and they're begging people to get into their company and stuff like that. Please, please, please get into my business because I'll make some money and stuff like that. No, you got to switch your thinking, okay? Your thinking here is that you're going to do everything to help them get rich, okay? And don't beg them to get into the business. They ought to be begging you to get into this company. Okay? Seriously. We got the greatest thing in the world. They should be begging us to get in this company and stuff like that. So, here's the kind of attitude that you have, okay, when you're talking to someone about the business. You have the attitude that you're going to get rich and they're going to get rich. So let's just try this out just a little bit here, okay? I want you to turn to the person next to you just real quick. Okay, everybody turn to the person next to you. And I want you to look them square in the eyes, and I want you to say, man, am I glad you got to meet me. Okay, this time we're going to try it as if you believe you're a president, you're going to become a president's team member, and the person that you're talking to is going to become a president's team member. Now look them square in the eyes and say, man, am I glad you got to meet me. That's the attitude. That's the $1 million attitude, see? And when you start feeling that way and you transmit that to the person and they start thinking that way, things become a lot better. And the whole conversation turns to a more serious conversation. Now, I also have the same thing with my distributors that are really on the move. You can't do this with everybody, okay? If you got someone who just says, well, I just want to casually use the products, treat them great. Okay, those are people that will keep using the products at wholesale month after month after month, and maybe that's what they'll do for the rest of their life. Or maybe, you know, down the road here, when you write to them and you say, here, try the flavored teas, they try the teas, and they say, man, if they had had that, I would have done the business. Then they try the business. You just never know. But when you got these little wholesale customers and stuff, treat them like gold. I know it's not much money when you got 1 or 2 of them. But when you're recruiting over the year and you end up with 60, 80, or 100 of these guys, it starts to become the couple of $1,000 difference on your level. But when you have 20 or 30 supervisors and they have 20 or 30 supervisors, it starts to become the $100,000 difference. So treat them like gold. Some of these little things don't sound that important, okay, because they're not that important when you start out. It's after you're here a year and 2 years that these things become monumental things, okay? Now, the same kind of plan I have for doing the business. And this is, again, picking up a habit that you do day after day after day, and it starts to add up. So when you're out there recruiting, we already talked about talking to 10 people a day about the products. We also want to talk to 10 people a day about the business. You want to talk just enough to 10 people a day to invite them down to some place to take a look at the company. Now that place could be your apartment. That place could be at the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday that's going on in the hotel. It could be at the local coffee shop. It could be in their office. It could be in their house. It doesn't make a difference where it takes place, okay? But you're talking to 10 people a day to invite them to go somewhere and hear about the presentation, okay? Now, let's say you're only going to do that for 22 days because we're giving you off on the weekends. That's 220 people that you would have invited to come down and take a look, okay? And let's say that you really are terrible, okay? Because I know most people, you invite, how many, most of you get half to come down, right? Okay? Let's say you only get a fourth of the people that come down, because I don't want to say it's going to be that great, okay? And I'm going to show you how this works in a minute. Let's say only 50 people show up at the business opportunity meeting. How many of you, if you had 5 people at the business meeting, would at least sign up 1 out of 5? Okay? Not everybody. That's what I thought. Okay? So now let's say that out of the 50 people that showed up, you're only signing 1 out of 5. So that gives you 10 first-line distributors a month, and that's what you want to have. Now, maybe every month is not like this, but this is generally the plan of what you want to have happen. And the reason that you want to have this plan is consistency month after month after month adds up. And here's what I've basically seen with recruiting 10, okay? And sometimes you get better odds. Sometimes you recruit 10, nobody does it, okay? It's just the way it is. That's why you want to be consistent every month. Sometimes you recruit 10, you get 5 supervisors, okay? But most of the time what happens is 3 or 4 of these are going to be wholesale customers. 3 of them will drop out. They won't do anything. And then a couple of them will become what I call the hot distributors, okay? And they say, listen, just tell me what to do. I'll do anything that you say. I want to go. I love everything that I've seen here and stuff, okay? But I want to get back to this plan here just for a second, because you've gotten 10 first-line distributors. We're talking about 2 people that would be hot that would become supervisors. So if you've gotten 2 supervisors during the month, if you did that for 12 months, that would be 24 supervisors. Now we go back to your customer list. Remember, you had 50 customers, okay? Out of 50 customers, I promise you, at least 6 of them will become supervisors, okay? So now you've got another 6 supervisors out of your retail base, which is giving you 30 first-line supervisors for the year. So if you stuck to the 10 plan on talking to people about the product and 10 people a day about the business, you will have at least made $50,000 or more on this the very first year. So 30 first-line supervisors, and you got your 50 customers, and that's made your first year minimum $50,000 or more, okay? But now let's check out what happens the next year. Next year you get another 30 first lines, okay, because you've gotten your 24 by recruiting 10. You've also gotten 50 more customers, so 6 more become supervisor from your customer base. So now you got 30 from last year, and you got 30 supervisors from this year. That's 60 first line supervisors. One thing that's great about Herbalife is everything is a percentage of everything. In other words, when you go out there and you're talking to people, okay, a certain of the percentage of the people that you talk to are going to say no. A certain percentage of the people are going to say yes. A certain of the percentage of the people that say yes, that get into the company, are going to drop out. A certain percentage of the people that get in are going to be wholesale customers. A certain percentage of the ones that get in are going to become supervisors. Then when you start getting supervisors, a certain percentage of those supervisors, they're going to get onto the world team. A certain percentage of the people that get onto the world team are going to become on the get team. A certain percentage of the people that get onto the get team are going to get onto the millionaire team. And a certain of the ones that get onto the millionaire team are going to get onto the president's team. Okay? So let's say that out of these 60 first-line supervisors, that only 5 get onto the world team. And then let's say that only 2 get onto the get team, and 1 person gets onto the millionaire team. Now, as a sponsor, you make about 75% of what your first lines make, okay? So if we take up what these guys are making, and you get 75% of that. So first of all your guys have had to make lots of money. That's one of the great things about Herbalife. If they make money, you make money. The more money they make, the more money you make. That's a great thing. That's not the way it is in the typical business world. But if you got 60 first-line supervisors and only 5 got the world team, 2 got the get, and 1 got the millionaire, you just qualified for president's team, and you will have made at least $125,000 for that year. Minimum. Minimum. For just talking to 10 people a day about the products and 10 people a day about the business. Now, who here in the room, okay, if I guaranteed you that if your whole job in Herbalife existed on just talking to 10 people about the product and just 10 people a day about the business, no matter what happened, that I would send you a check in the mail for $125,000, who would do it? Of course, everybody, right? That's why in the beginning, you have to fantasize about what's going to happen to you. And that's easier to do today than it was when I got started. Because when I was talking about all of us becoming multi-millionaires, I'd only made $1,200 that first month in the company. And I was pitching everybody that we were going to get rich, and we were going to be an unbelievable company, and we were going to go all around the world, and I've only made $1,200. And then when I made $2,300, I was really crazy. I said, look at this. My check doubled. We're on our way. It's just unbelievable. We're going to get rich, right? And then it went to $5,000. And then I was even crazier than that. But right from the beginning, everything was always unbelievable. It was just going to be incredible. No doubt about it. Everything was going to be unbelievable. And sure, there was times I had doubts. Sure, there was times where meetings didn't work out for me, where most of the people didn't show up, or most of the customers didn't show up and stuff like that. But I just kept doing it day after day after day after day. And if you do these habits, it will work. Okay, now, one of the things that was so great about this for me was a couple of things. I was able to get my distributors being honest with themselves about the reality of what was going to happen to them. Okay? Because sometimes people have all these incredible expectations, and then they don't do the job, and they blame everything on all kinds of things that have nothing to do with reality. Okay? Because when it all boils down to it, no matter how much of this training I give you, the bottom line's going to be, other than how you train your distributors, okay, it's going to be how many people you get into the opportunity. That's going to be the bottom line. Yes, you're going to learn lots more today. Yes, you're going to hear lots more incredible stories. The next time you come to the meeting, when you're new, the more up the ladder you go, the more you hear, and the more that feels right because you've done more. But no question about it, at the end of the day, it's how many people that you get into the opportunity and so on. Let's talk now about our daily method of operation, okay? Because for me, it was real important to have a system, okay, that my people could plug into that would be a support system for them, okay? And that's where I came up with the concept of doing meetings on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Now, there's no magic in these days, okay? There's a lot of times when I come to Asia, they're wondering if, is there certain mysticism about, why Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday? No, it could just as well be Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday. It could be every day of the week. It could be all kinds of things. For me, the reason why I was Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is I always wanted to get lots of people down to the opportunity meeting. Then I wanted to leave a day for the people that were hot. I wanted to go out and work with them all day long to recruit underneath them to bring them to the next meeting so that they were successful. Okay, so I always was leaving me a day in between so I could work my downline, and I'll talk about how we do that in just a minute. Okay, but the opportunity meeting, why did I do opportunity meetings? Okay, I could have set people down one-on-one. Would that work? Of course, okay? One of the great things about Herbalife is anything will work, okay? The question is how fast it works, how quick it works for you, and more importantly, how quickly it works for the people that you get in, okay? And so I was always interested in fast, okay? So the opportunity meeting was set up for me to invite people all day long and get them down to the opportunity meeting, and that way I could do all 8 or 9 people that I gotten during the day that came to the opportunity meeting, I could pitch them in 1 hour instead of spending 7 hours to do it, okay? And so that was really the goal. The second reason why I like doing it at the opportunity meeting is that's where I had my testimonials and my other people that had their incomes. Not that my testimonial wasn't impressive enough and my income wasn't impressive enough, but see, I'm not enough, and I know that. You see, what you want to have in an opportunity meeting is as many people as humanly possible talking, okay? And that's why I'm not doing all this meeting completely by myself. That's why we have other people talk about doing the retail. That's why we have other people doing the recruiting. That's why we're going to bring up the Get team. That's why we're going to bring up the Millionaire team. Because the more people that you can hear from, and the more different backgrounds you hear, and the more different circumstances, and where they were, and where they came from, and what their first month's income was, and what it is now, the more eyes that you can see, the more somebody, okay, and there's going to be somebody today that you're going to see, that you're going to say, hey, if that person can do it, I can do it. And that's the most important thing that can happen to you in Herbalife. And you never know when that's going to be. It's probably going to be here today. But if it doesn't happen here today, it could be the next STS that you go to. You just never know, okay? But here's the elements of what makes the opportunity meeting exciting, okay? Because a lot of times people get very confused and start thinking that the opportunity meeting is only good if you have someone that's great at doing opportunity meetings, okay? Now, is it great if someone's great and entertaining up on the stage doing an opportunity meeting? Of course, okay? But can someone who's not very good be great on the stage also, as long as they're making some money? Absolutely, okay? And so we're going to show you how that works here, because this will make your next, Saturday? This will make your next Tuesday night meeting more exciting. All the person that's supposed to do that comes up here, let's say we're just going to do a real quick opportunity meeting right now, okay? All we're going to do is we're going to tell the Mark Hughes story, and then I'm going to talk about the products, and then I'm going to do testimonials. And remember that this is going to take me 25% of my talking, and 75% of the meeting is going to be given by the audience, okay? Because the audience is the biggest one who actually does the meeting, not the person on the stage. The person up on the stage is just there to set up enough information so he can get the testimonials up on the stage. Because the testimonials is what really sells the products. On the marketing plan, I've heard people that say it's an incredible marketing plan, it's just unbelievable, you make 40%, you get royalties, 72% on the retail, just unbelievable. Let's have all the testimonials come on up. Okay? And who they are going to become, okay? Sometimes we look at the person that's got a little bit more professional background, they're dressed a little bit more better, they've got a little bit more background in school and this sort of thing, and they seem a little sharper type person, and we think that's going to be the best person. They may be the best person, but they also may not be the best person, okay? You just never know, okay? Because the person who talks the most in Herbalife, okay, is the one who gets the biggest checks. And you don't know who that person's going to be. It could be the housewife, it could be the bartender, it could be someone who's scrubbing toilets for a living, it could be the janitor. It could be the person that does your dry cleaning, and it could be a dental hygienist, and it could be a dairy farmer, and it could be a doctor, and it could be a lawyer. You just never know. So what you got to do, okay, whenever you're going to do a presentation about the products or you're going to do it about the business, here's what you got to do. Don't prejudge anybody. Treat everybody nice. Treat everybody with respect. Treat everybody equal, no matter who and what they are, okay? No matter what their background is, no matter what their color of skin is, no matter where they come from, what language they speak, it doesn't make any difference, okay? Because we've proven... Let's go into recruiting, okay? And we're going to have a lot of fun with recruiting. And whenever you do a presentation, and this has not only to do with the product, it also has to do with recruiting. You never can pick and choose who's going to be the next star of your Herbalife business, okay? You can never judge that. And it's a little bit sad sometimes because it's very difficult as an individual that when we're looking at someone to not prejudge